Folashade Olajuyibe won the Schlumberger Foundation Faculty for the Future PhD Fellowship. During our PhD program, Folashade Olajuyibe won several awards, including the Best Poster Award at an international conference on trends in enzymology in Saint-Malo, France. In 2008, Elsevier Archives of Biochemistry and Biophysics Young Investigator Award. Also in 2008, an American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology Graduate Travel Award. In 2007, through dedication to teaching, research, and service, Professor Olajuyibe rose through the academic ranks and was promoted to Professor of Biochemistry in October 2020. She is the principal investigator and leader of the Enzyme and Environmental Biotechnology Research Group at FUTA. Her research focuses on structure-based drug design against HIV, microbial enzyme production, bioenergy, and environmental bioremediation. She has successfully supervised and mentored over 50 postgraduates, 40 MTech, and 10 PhD graduates. She has published about 60 scholarly articles in reputable international journals with over 1,000 citations of her work. She leads an active research team supported by a well-equipped e-biotech laboratory with modern facilities and reliable power supply. Professor Olajuyibe has won several awards, fellowships, research grants, and national and international recognition, verifying a global reputation. She's a grantee of the International Center for Biotechnology and Genetic Engineering Collaborative Research Project on Bioenergy and TED Fund National Research Fund Project on Environmental Bioremediation. Professor Olajuyibe won the prestigious U.S. Fulbright Senior Research Scholarship in 2017 and was a visiting scholar at Rutgers University, New Jersey, USA from 2017 to 2018. As director, Professor Olajuyibe won the Seeding Labs Instrumental Access Award for the laboratory in January 2024. Remarkably, she won the 2023 FUTA Vice Chancellor Special Recognition Award of Excellence, exactly 12 years after winning the Vice Chancellor's Special Recognition for Research Award in 2011. She is a two-time winner of the prestigious International Foundation for Science Sweden Research Grant. She is a two-time winner of the highly competitive Schlumberger Foundation Faculty for the Future Fellowship for our split-site PhD research in the University of Trieste, Italy, and our postdoctoral program at the University of Florida, USA, respectively. She was an associate of the International Center for Theoretical Physics, Trieste, Italy, from 2009 to 2016. Professor Olajuyibe has served as external examiner and assessor to several universities, including Obafemi Awolowo University, Ilaramokin, Ondo State, among others. She serves on the editorial board of the National Biotechnology Development Agency, NABDA, journal reviews, manuscripts for more than 15 international journals. Furthermore, Professor Olajuyibe has been widely recognized as a role model for women in science. In 2016, she was highlighted by the International Foundation for Science, Sweden, on International Women's Day. In 2017, she was named among the 10 Nigerian women making significant contributions to science by the Nigerian Leadership newspaper. And in 2018, she was listed among 16 prominent Nigerian women excelling in science and research during the International Day of Women and Girls in Science. In 2024, Life Science Nigeria celebrated Professor Olajuyibe on International Women's Day for advancing life science awareness through education, research, and technology. And in 2025, the Schlumberger Foundation also recognized her among 12 influential women and girls in STEM, working globally to advance gender balance in science. Professor Olajuyibe belongs to several professional bodies, including the Nigerian Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, the American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, among others. In 2025, Professor Olajuyibe represented Nigeria at a high-level regional bioeconomy workshop in Dakar, Senegal. Professor Olajuyibe is the president and founder of Women's Dignity Initiative, a non-governmental organization, and the National Project Coordinator and National Chairperson of WSD Nigeria Chapter. With over 2 decades of teaching and research experience, Professor Olajuyibe has held several leadership roles within the university, including Director of the Central Research Laboratory from 2023 to this day, member of the University Senate from 2020 to this day, and member of the University Accreditation Committee from 2024, among others. Professor Folashade Mayowa Olajuigbe is happily married to Reverend Canon Dr. Ebenezer Olajuigbe, Director of the Information and Communication Technology Center at the University of Medical Sciences, UNIMED, Ondo. Their union is blessed with children. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Professor Folashade Mayowa Olajuigbe as she delivers the keynote lecture titled Give to Gain, Advancing Gender Equity and Institutional Excellence by Celebrating Women and Strategically Investing Time as we celebrate the 2026 International Women's Day in UNIMED, Ondo State.
Thank you very much. Please, let's have our seats. I'm humbled. Thank you. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Patrick Osho, Acting Registrar, Bursary Coordinator, Library Coordinator, Deans and Directors, Heads of Departments and Units, respected professors, academic and non-academic staff, great UNIMED students, distinguished guest speakers and awardees, executives and members of the Organization for Women in Science for the Developing World, OWS in Nigeria. The former Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Rosangela Umba, I recognize you. Amazing women and girls gathered here today, gentlemen and ladies of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, happy International Women's Day 2026. I bring you warm greetings from my amiable, cerebral, and dynamic first female Vice Chancellor of the best University of Technology in Nigeria, Federal University of Technology, Akure, Professor Adenike Temidayo Oladiji, FAS, and also from the Organization for Women in Science for the Developing World, OWSD Nigeria chapter, where I am the national chairperson. I'm very grateful to the dynamic director, Center for Gender and Health Equity, UNIMED, Professor Augustina N. Duilemi, for this invitation as keynote speaker, the 2026 celebration of International Women's Day at UNIMED. I also recognize and thank my dear husband, Reverend Canon Dr. Ebenezer Olajuigbe, Director, Information and Communication Technology, ICT Center of this great university, for always supporting me and encouraging my vision. I equally recognize former FUTA Registrar and Director of FUTA Senior Citizen Center, Professor Dupe Ajayi, I'm sure she will join us, and Director, FUTA Center for Gender Issues in Science and Technology, SEGIS, Professor Mary Olowokere. The Southwest Zonal Coordinator of OWS in Nigeria, Engineer Professor Oluwatoyin Olasende. Other executives and members of OWS in Nigeria present. For those who may not be familiar with OWSD, it is the Organization for Women in Science for the Developing World. It is a network of over 12,000 women scientists living and working in the developing world, dedicated to advancing the participation of women scientists in mathematics, in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM careers, to amplify their voices and promote leadership, mentorship, and collaboration. In Nigeria, we at OWSD work tirelessly to empower women in STEM, because we know that when women thrive, institutions and societies thrive. You can all see why I do not take this responsibility to deliver a keynote lecture at this occasion for granted. Madam Vice Chancellor, I thank you so much for supporting the advancement of women in UNIMED, especially by appointing women into the leadership of UNIMED. I was so excited to see the IWD 2026 greeting by Madam Vice Chancellor, capturing female deans, directors, heads of departments, principal assistant registrar, chief accountant, and so on in the university. That was really awesome. Ma, I pray the Lord continues to mark your leadership with excellence. I think she deserves a round of applause for that. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful to the Almighty God for making it possible for every one of us to be partakers of this year's celebration of the International Women's Day at University of Medical Sciences, Ondo, a university that carries a sacred responsibility to train those who will safeguard life, advance science, and shape the future of healthcare in Nigeria. I will quickly delve into the topic before me this morning or this afternoon: Give to Gain, advancing gender equity and institutional excellence by celebrating women and strategically investing time, under the following subheadings. Introduction, you have it on the slide. Give to Gain. Universities are shapers of culture and social values. The responsibility of awareness and supporting women for equity and institutional excellence. Celebrating women and overcoming scarcity mindsets. Strategic investment of time for gender equity and institutional excellence. 6, the multiplier effect of Give to Gain. 7, call to action, advancing the future of UNIMED and Nigeria. And then my conclusion, from reflection to action. Today we gather under the 2026 International Women's Day theme, Give to Gain. Beyond the notion of reciprocal giving, the theme embodies selfless action, investing in the growth, success, and empowerment of other women. Progress in medicine, research, or leadership emerges when we support one another, challenge bias, celebrate contributions, and deliberately invest time in mentorship and advocacy. Every act of giving strengthens institutions, fosters fully to a greater Nigeria and a better world. From my experience, giving, especially in the form of time, mentorship, encouragement, and support, is a strategic investment. For example, a professor spends 1 hour mentoring a student. That hour may inspire a research project, a publication, or a clinical innovation. While the mentor may not then benefit directly, the institution gains knowledge, recognition, and long-term impact. That is Give to Gain in action. When institutions offer opportunities, they gain excellence. When leaders offer trust, they gain innovation. When women are supported, society gains resilience, growth, and stronger systems. Let me quickly ask us this question. How many of us have benefited from someone giving their time to help us? Their experience, or that experience, is proof of the power of reciprocity. I'll begin with a brief personal story that captures the true meaning of Give to Gain. I want us to listen attentively. In early 2004, shortly after I was appointed as an assistant lecturer, I had a chance of meeting with a senior female academic at the south gate of my university, Federal University of Technology, Akure. She congratulated me warmly on my new appointment. Though she was clearly on her way somewhere, she paused and generously gave me a few minutes of her time right there at the gate. She offered simple but powerful advice on how to navigate the early years of an academic career. What felt like a brief, casual conversation turned out to be a defining moment of unstructured mentorship, for which I'm always very grateful. During that impromptu meeting, she shared with me the addresses of 2 websites. The first was for the Third World Organization for Women in Science, known as TWOS then, but now the Organization for Women in Science for the Developing World, OWSD. She encouraged me to register so I could become part of an international network of women scientists. The second was the website of the International Foundation for Science, IFS in Sweden, and she urged me to apply for an international research grant to support my PhD work. Determined to excel and be globally relevant, I immediately acted. That same day, I went to a cyber cafe close to the gates and registered as a member of TWOS. Today, I have the privilege of serving not just as member of OWSD, but as a national chairperson of that organization in Nigeria. The call for applications for IFS research grant was eventually opened around April 2004. I worked on my IFS research proposal and applied early June 2004. In November of that same year, I received a letter that changed the course of my academic journey. I had won the IFS research grant, the first winner of such grants in the then School of Sciences at FUTA. The grant enabled me to purchase a shaking incubator, the first of its kind at the university, for my PhD research. I think we clap for that. Over the years, that same equipment has supported numerous successful BTech, MTech, and PhD projects. A larger digital version of that equipment was later acquired in 2016 through a TED Fund institutional-based research grant, which I won as a co-researcher in 2015 for my e-biotech laboratory. That IFS research grant has given birth to numerous international and national grants to date. Today, I serve as director of the FUTA Central Research Laboratory. Yet, the true significance of that moment at the university gates is this: a few minutes of guidance created opportunities whose impact continues to multiply through the work of many students and researchers, while boosting the global image of the Federal University of Technology, Akure. I remain grateful, deeply grateful to Professor Yemisi Adeparusi, whose willingness to give her time in 2004 continues to generate lasting gains for many years. That, in its simplest form, is the spirit of give to gain. Real giving is not about seeking personal reward, no, but about improving the lives of others. When we give selflessly our time, kindness, resources, and love, we create positive change in the world. Just as Jesus gave his life for the whole world and for the good of humanity, we are encouraged to give in ways that uplift and benefit others. I want us to now look into universities as shapers of culture and values. International Women's Day invites us to reflect on the powerful role universities play in shaping culture, values, and the future of our societies. As centers of knowledge, innovation, and leadership, universities are uniquely positioned to advance equity and ensure that women and girls can thrive in every field. Universities are more than centers of knowledge. They shape confidence, ambition, and culture. Within these walls, women learn whether their voices are welcome, whether leadership is attainable, and whether excellence is recognized and rewarded. Many female students experience moments of doubt along their academic journey, asking questions such as, do I truly belong here? Am I capable enough? Is this field really meant for someone like me? Will my ideas be taken seriously? Can I balance a demanding career with other expectations placed on me? Am I confident to lead? These questions often rise quietly in lecture halls, laboratories, seminars, and research group meetings. At such moments, the academic environment and the support systems around them become crucial. They can either reinforce uncertainty and self-doubt, or nurture confidence, courage, and a sense of belonging. When institutions intentionally create supportive spaces, they empower women not only to succeed, but also to lead, innovate, and inspire others. When young women see female professors leading departments or heading research teams, they are not only inspired, they see precedents. Leadership becomes attainable. They see role models. They see excellence as easy to be achieved, and excellence becomes visible. Representation helps transform aspiration into possibility. Universities shape culture, not only through knowledge, but also through inclusive curricula, equitable hiring and leadership, mentorship programs, and strong protections against discrimination. These actions show that gender equity is not symbolic, but fundamental to academic excellence and societal progress. Nigeria's culture, particularly the strength of our healthcare system, depends on how deeply we embrace and act on this principle. Advancing gender equity and professional growth requires collaboration, support, and the intentional investment of our time. By empowering women's voices, nurturing confidence, and fostering inclusive leadership, universities become catalysts for change, creating societies where opportunities is not constrained by gender. We see the power of this institutional impact clearly in the life of Professor Grace Alele Williams, whose journey exemplifies how vision, mentorship, and perseverance within supportive academic structures can transform not only a career, but also an entire generation of leaders. As the first female vice chancellor in Nigeria at the University of Benin, Professor Grace Alele Williams did more than occupy an office. She redefined what leadership could look like within Nigeria academia. Her presence challenged entrenched assumptions about who could lead, who could excel in mathematics, and who could shape university governance. By leading with competence and integrity, Professor Alele Williams influenced institutional standards, administrative culture, and perceptions of women in authority. Policies she strengthened and systems she stabilized extended beyond her tenure, reinforcing accountability and academic rigor. Most importantly, she reshaped aspiration. Female students and academics could now see leadership as attainable. Male colleagues could witness women's leadership as normal and effective. Since 2016, no fewer than 19 women have either served or are currently serving as vice chancellors in Nigeria's federal, state, and private universities. This represents a significant rise compared with the very limited female presence in such positions prior to mid-2010s. Today, we celebrate the great number of female vice chancellors across Nigerian universities, including Professor Ebonluwade Juigbe for UNIMED, Professor Adenike Temidayo Oladiji for FUTA, Professor Folashade Ogunshola for UNILAG, among others. These are remarkable leaders who exemplify that when women are afforded opportunities, institutions benefit from inclusive leadership, diverse perspectives, and a governance approach grounded in empathy and excellence. As we clap for them, we should note that, yeah, we have clapped. We are saying that we have not yet reached there. When this number is considered, alongside the 307 universities presently approved to operate in Nigeria, the proportion remains relatively small, with women accounting for far less than 10% of university leadership positions at any given time, according to Ononiwo 2026 in The Guardian. While the pace of change highlights persistent gaps, the increasing visibility and impact of women leaders signal meaningful progress and the transformative potential of equitable representation. This reality signifies an important point. Progress does not occur automatically. It requires intentional awareness, supportive structures, and a shared commitment to creating environments where women can thrive and lead. Let's now look at the responsibility of awareness and deliberate support in promoting equity and strengthening institutional excellence. The responsibility of awareness and supporting women for equity and institutional excellence. Advancing gender equity begins with the responsibility of awareness and the courage to challenge bias. Environments. We can intentionally create equitable opportunities for women. When awareness is paired with active support, it becomes a powerful driver of both gender equity and excellence. In contemporary professional spaces, bias is rarely overt, yet its consequences remain significant. It influences who is encouraged to pursue leadership, how assertiveness is interpreted, how mistakes are judged. Assertiveness in men may be praised as confidence or leadership potential, while similar behavior in women may be misinterpreted as aggressiveness. Likewise, mistakes by men may be framed as learning opportunities, whereas mistakes by women may be scrutinized more critically. Often, bias appears under the guise of concern. Questions about workload, family responsibilities, or maintaining balance. While these concerns may seem well-intentioned, they are not always applied equally across genders. As a result, capable women may be unintentionally discouraged from pursuing leadership roles, leadership research opportunities, or professional advancements. Challenging this bias does not require confrontation for its own sake. It requires conscious correction. It means asking whether our standards are consistent, our evaluations fair, and our opportunities equitably distributed. Addressing bias through fair recognition, inclusive policies, mentorship, and advocacy strengthening women is not a favor. It is a professional responsibility. In medicine, research, and academia, progress is built on collaboration, mentorship, and shared efforts. Career advancement should reflect the same collective principle. Support becomes transformative when both men and women actively contribute. Men who mentor, sponsor, and advocate for women help dismantle barriers and normalize inclusive leadership. At the same time, women supporting one another through mentorship, collaboration, and advocacy strengthens networks of opportunities and promotes collective success rather than competition. When awareness of bias is combined with intentional support, the results are transformative. Careers flourish, leadership becomes more diverse, and institutions benefit from broader. That is why we need to celebrate our women, and we should overcome the scarcity mindset. Celebrating women requires more than recognition. It's more than a award given. It demands both social acknowledgement and structural action, while challenging the scarcity mindset that limits collective progress. When institutions intentionally honor women and foster a culture of abundance rather than competition, they unlock the full potential of gender equity and institutional excellence. Social celebration involves highlighting achievements, sharing stories of excellence, and raising visibility through events, awards, and public recognition. This not only challenges bias, but also motivates emerging talents. It motivates our female students and signals a commitment to equity. Recognition becomes transformative when women's achievements are celebrated without fear of rivalry, fostering collaboration and inspiring others. A ripple effect that embodies the principle of give to gain. Structural celebration goes further by embedding equity into institutional policies and practices. It ensures fair access to leadership roles, research funding, mentorship and career development, as well as supportive environments where all contributions, including mentoring, service, and committee work, are valued. Expanding opportunities for women to strengthen leadership pipeline, improve decision making, and this drives innovation. True celebration, therefore, combines recognition, structural support, and an abundance mindset. When we celebrate women intentionally, as we are doing today, collaboration thrives, excellence expands, and leadership becomes more inclusive, reminding us that when one person rises, the entire community rises with them. Now to the strategic investment of time, which was part of the theme for today. Among all resources available to us, time is the most powerful and accessible. It is a resource that everyone possesses. We all possess time and can intentionally deploy it to create meaningful change in our lives and in the lives of others. When invested strategically, time becomes one of the most transformative tools for advancing gender equity and strengthening institutions. The time spent mentoring, the time spent writing recommendation letters, the time spent advocating, the time spent amplifying voices is far from a small gesture. It is a catalytic act that multiplies opportunity. Mentorship helps clarify professional direction. Sponsorship opens doors that talent alone may not unlock. And advocacy ensures that women's contributions are recognized in spaces where decisions are made. Through these actions, though these actions require commitment, their impact is profound and far-reaching. An hour of mentorship can refine a research trajectory or career path. A timely recommendation can unlock international collaborations, leadership opportunities, or research funding. A thoughtful conversation can restore confidence at a critical moment in a colleague's journey. These seemingly small acts accumulate over time, shaping careers, nurturing capable leaders, and strengthening the intellectual fabric of institutions. Strategic investment of time is therefore not charity as well. It is leadership. When leaders and colleagues intentionally dedicate time to advancing women, they cultivate stronger teams, broaden perspectives, and stimulate innovation. Institutions that embrace this approach nurture talents, they sustain excellence, and embed equity into their culture. Time, when intentionally given, creates lasting legacies. It builds network of support, fosters confidence, and ensures that knowledge and opportunity extend across generations. Investing time in others is not a subtraction from personal progress. It is a multiplication of collective capacity. On this International Women's Day, the call is clear. Let us use our time intentionally. By investing our time in mentoring, advocating, and uplifting others, we advance equity, empower leaders, and strengthen the institutions and communities we serve. And now, to the gain from our giving. The principle of give to gain is never linear, it multiplies. Every act of mentorship, advocacy, or support creates ripples far beyond the individual. When a single student is guided with care, she grows in confidence and competence and often becomes a mentor herself. When one equitable policy is introduced, it creates opportunities for generations. When inclusive practices are nurtured consistently, they become the identity of the institution. Mentorship, advocacy, recognition, and time investment do not just elevate women, they strengthen institutions, enrich communities, and shape our society. The multiplier effect of give to gain shows us that advancing gender equity is strategic, transformative, and essential. When we invest in women, we cultivate confident leaders, inclusive institutions, and a society that thrives for generations. And now we look at what UNIMED, the role UNIMED has to play, the call to action, advancing the future of UNIMED and Nigeria before we conclude. The impact of our work at UNIMED extends far beyond this campus into hospitals, research institutes, and communities across Nigeria and abroad. What we invest today becomes tomorrow's standard, and sustained reciprocity builds a lasting legacy. The future of healthcare in Nigeria will be shaped by those trained in UNIMED. Who leads hospitals, who directs research, who influences policy, and who mentors the next generation will reflect the culture, values, and commitment that define this university. The Center for Gender and Health Equity at UNIMED exemplifies how intentional programs can drive change. Advancing women's leadership, from what we have heard from the director this morning, the center promotes inclusive policies and supports equitable research and mentorship. Building on this model, the university must, 1, develop leadership programs for women that build confidence, competence, and capacity. The university must embed inclusivity in decision-making at every level. The university must regularly evaluate institutional culture to track progress and address gaps. The university must establish structured mentorship programs to guide emerging talents. The university must also ensure accountability and representation across leadership, research, and governance. Equally, each of us has a role to play in advancing gender equity and institutional excellence. I want to ask each of us to reflect on the following questions. Who can I mentor this year? Whose voice can I amplify? Which assumption must I challenge? Where can I give my time intentionally? Every woman here has benefited from someone giving time, encouragement, or opportunity. Today, Give to Gain asks us to continue that chain purposefully. In conclusion, I want us to look at from reflection to action. We have been reflecting, now we have to take action. International Women's Day must inspire intentional action, not just a reflection. Professors here, senior lecturers here, younger colleagues here should mentor emerging scholars and open pathways to leadership. Colleges and departments should review equity data and practices regularly. Students should challenge stereotypes and promote inclusion. Leaders should embed accountability so equity is measured and sustained. As I close, I look forward to inaugurating a branch of OWSD at UNIMED, creating a platform for mentorship, collaboration, and advocacy for women in science, medicine, and health leadership. Through this collective effort, Give to Gain can grow from individual action into an enduring institutional movement that multiplies opportunity and shapes the future of science and healthcare in Nigeria. Thank you so much for listening, and once again, happy International Women's Day.
While we are still standing clapping for her, the tradition of University of Medical Sciences is that when you come to us, we do not allow you to go back the way you have come. We often recognize excellence. And you all agree with me that we have just listened to an excellent keynote speech. Please, once again, a round of applause for Professor Folashade Olajuigbe. As I call on Professor Wahab Owolawi, the Acting Dean, Faculty of Allied Health Sciences, to do us the honor of presenting the meritorious award that we have for our keynote speaker. Please, a round of applause for Professor Owolawi as he comes.
So without a woman, nothing, woman, African woman, African.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we need to give another round of applause. Professor Folashade Olajuigbe is a professor of note, and all what you have said today is very impactful, not only to UNIMED, but to the universe. Give to Gain is about whatever we give, we also receive. As you give, you receive. And on that note, I will want to present to you this award from the chairman, the director of Center for Gender and Health Equity, who has graciously made it possible for this event to hold. And of course, from our Vice Chancellor, who you have actually eulogized so much. Thank you very much. In recognition of your advancement of women in science, we honorably and with honor give you this award. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Please, let's put our hands together once again for our keynote speaker.
want to say I'm humbled, and I want to thank the leadership of this university. I want to thank the Director, Center for Gender and Health Equity, Professor Duilemi, for the presentation of this award. And I want to equally apologize for not recognizing my sister, the first dean of School of Agricultural and Agricultural Technology, FUTA. That's in the person of Professor Oludansi, Oluwatoyin Oludansi. Please, let's give her a round of applause. Prof, please. And I'm sure she's serving UNIMED also in a great way. Thank you very much. Because we served together and we have been sisters since then. And she's equally pulling her weight. Thank you very much, ma. Thank you, everyone.
Shall we get assignments? So far, enjoy forever. But you don't pay attention to the intimidation she face. No be like water.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, now the tone has been set for the celebration of today. We have listened to our keynote speaker, and I think one striking thing that I've taken away from the lecture is that women are actually a metaphor of mentorship. Give to gain. That's the way God has created women. All of us that are here today, whether you are a woman or a man, you are a product of what women have actually given to the society. I am standing before you today because a woman has actually donated me to the world as a gain for all of us. And I'm happy. Thank you very much, Prof. I was actually coming to Prof. There is something about me, of all the creatures of God, I love women the most. I love women. Oh. And along the line, you may get to know why I love women. And now, Prof also clapping. Somebody came to tell me that Prof said, you have never recognized me. And I said, that's not true. If you are looking for somebody who knows how to pronounce her name very well, you come to me. While some people will call themselves Oluwatoyin, our own will be Oluwatoyin. Just like a boy in my office, my boy will tell me, my name is not Jesu Towo, my name is Jesu Towo. So in this case now, I want to recognize you. Prof, listen, Professor Oluwatoyin. She's not just a footer, but also an integral part of this university. And since she came, she has been a very huge value to this institution. Some will come, you find them amidst crowd, and they will be subsumed amidst crowd. Not in our case. Please, let's put our hands together for Professor Oluwatoyin. Thank you very much, ma. And I also want to recognize, even though the keynote speaker has done that, but I told myself I would do it. How can somebody come all the way to celebrate with us? Yeah, I will just not recognize her. That is not proper. And with her name, a very symbolic name, Professor Mary, the mother of Jesus. Taiwo Olowo Okere. I'm 100% sure that Olowo Okere should either be from Ekiti or Ijesha. Ma, is yours from Ijesha land? All of the above. You had better be from Ijesha. Eh? Come on, can't you? Eh? Professor Mary Olowo Okere, Director, Center for Gender Issues in Science and Technology, and former NMPC Shell, Professor of Geophysics, Obafemi Awolowo University. Please, let's give her a resounding applause. And please, let's leave out what we just listened to. Women are a metaphor of mentorship. Give as much as possible. We are already appealing to you for the programs being passed across. Donate generously towards taking those publications. We've celebrated all of you inside, and we need your support so that we can do more. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Tomide Akiribido has an urgent official assignment to attend to. And for that reason, we will be doing some sort of housekeeping by bringing him to this side of the divide to quickly talk to us in the next 5 minutes. You will see what a man can do, how to deliver a 45-minute lecture in 5 minutes. Please, a round of applause for Honorable Tomide Akiribido.
Thank you very much. Let me pay my respects to the Vice Chancellor of this noble institution, the University of Medical Sciences, Professor Eboluwa Adejuigbe, who is very well represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor. I also acknowledge the presence of the keynote speaker. Thank you very much, Ma, Prof, for that very detailed keynote address. Because of my time, let me use the director of the Center for Gender and Health Equality, Professor Duilemi, as a point of respect to all other senior officials of the university here seated. And of course, I have to acknowledge my colleague, who is a politician, but my good sister, member of the Ondo State Hospital Management Board, Nurse Adamolekun. You are very recognized man. Before I go into my speech, my lecture, which I'm going to rush, like the MC has said, while the director of the Center for Gender was giving a speech, one thing that caught my attention was the need for a creche at the center. So, and she said they are still needing support for that. So I want to make a donation on behalf of my agency, a token of 300,000 naira to that, towards that gesture, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tomide Leonard Akiribido. I'm a former member of the Ondo State House of Assembly who represented this constituency, Ondo West Constituency 1, equally a former senior special assistant to the governor of Ondo State on ICT, and currently I serve as the executive chairman of the Ondo State Information Technology Agency. It is both an honor and responsibility to be speaking at this important event that commemorates the 2026 International Women's Day, which held on Sunday, the 8th of March, 2026. And for still choosing to go ahead to celebrate it, I think it is an indication of the determination and commitment of the Center for Gender and Health Equality towards advancing the cause of women. For this purpose of this lecture, I chose to briefly speak on the topic from inclusion to leadership, advancing female involvement as a catalyst for national digital transformation. From inclusion to leadership, advancing female involvement as a catalyst for national digital transformation. Today, we are not just celebrating women. We are recognizing a force that is not optional, but essential to the future, the digital future of our nation. For too long, conversations around women in technology have centered on inclusion, That is, getting more girls into classrooms, more women into entry-level roles, and more voices into the room. While this remains very important, inclusion alone is no longer enough. The question before us now is, are women leading? Are they shaping policy? Are they building systems? Are they divining the future of our digital economies? These are the questions that we must ask ourselves. Because true transformation does not happen at the margins. It happens at the very nerve center of leadership. Digital transformation is more than adapting technology. It is about redesigning how governments operate, how businesses create value, and how citizens engage with services. It requires innovation, creativity, empathy, and diverse thinking. And this is where women are not just participants, but powerful drivers. When women lead in digital spaces, outcomes improve, systems become more inclusive, solutions become more human-centered, and economics become very resilient. Yet, despite this, women remain underrepresented in critical areas such as artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, software engineering, and digital policy leadership. This gap is not just a gender issue. It is a national development issue. We cannot fully build a fully functional digital economy with half of our population, that is women, underrepresented in its design and leadership. So, how do we move from inclusion to leadership? Number one, we must invest in capacity building at a very large scale. This means equipping our girls and women with not just basic digital literacy, but advanced future-ready skills like artificial intelligence, data science, cloud computing, and digital entrepreneurship. We must ensure that training programs are accessible, affordable, and aligned with global standards. And that is what we are doing at the Ondo State Information Technology Agency, where we have just rounded up training of 500 young people, women inclusive, on in-demand tech skills such as Python programming, digital analytics, front-end and back-end development. Secondly, we must dismantle systemic barriers. Cultural biases, limited access to funding, lack of mentorship, and workplace discrimination continue to slow the progresses. Governments, private sectors, leaders, and institutions must take deliberate steps to create enabling environments where women can thrive and rise. Thirdly, we must create leadership pipelines. What does this mean? It means that it is not enough to train women, we must position them. This includes appointing women into decision-making roles in the tech sector, supporting women-led IT startups, and ensuring women representation in ICT policy formulation and governance structure. An example is the role being played by Ms. Ola Williams, who is the West African country representative for Microsoft. Fourth, we must leverage technology as an equalizer. Digital platforms have the power to democratize opportunity. From remote work to online learning, technology can break down geographical and societal barriers, but only if it is accessible and equitable. And then lastly, we must tell our stories. Representation matters. When young girls see women leading in tech, building companies, driving innovation, shaping national policies, they begin to see what is possible for themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, advancing female involvement in digital transformation is not an act of appeasement. The keynote speakers said it is not an act of charity. So I say it is not an act of appeasement. It must become a national deliberate imperative. Nations that empower women to lead in technology will outpace those that do not in few years to come. The future we are building, that is smart cities, digital governments, AI-driven economies, must not be designed for women. It must be designed with the inclusion of women, by women, and led by women. As we celebrate today, let us move beyond commitments into actions. Let us build ecosystems where women are not just included, but influential, where they are not just present, but powerful, and where they are not just participating, but leading. Because when women rise to lead within the digital space, nations rise with them. Let this be our collective mission today, not just for today, but for the future that we are determined to create. Thank you all for listening, and once again, happy International Women's Day.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for Honorable Tomide Leonard Akinribido. He has spoken to us, and I particularly love the fact that he said we cannot make any impact staying on the precipice, staying on the brink. We have to move from the level of inclusion to active participation, moving to leadership. And without any doubt, this is a man that walks the talk. When you check his profile, you would discover that this man has done tremendously well for himself in the society. He is a multiple award winner in almost all spheres of life. In almost all spheres of life. At one point or the other, he has occupied different posts in the political sphere. He was at a time the chairman, House Committee on Sustainable Development Goals, Intergovernmental and Multilateral Relations, and also the chairman of the House Committee on International Relations and Diaspora Affairs. Honorable Akinribido has bagged several awards, including being crowned as the SDGs Youth Ambassador of Nigeria by the Civil Society Coalition of Sustainable Development, Lawmaker of the Year 2000 by Trace News Magazine, and Ondo State Legislator of the Year 2021 by the Nigerian Outstanding Leadership Hero Award Platform, IT Rockstar Award by Chronicle Magazine in March 2025, and Southwest Most Productive Political Appointee in ICT Sector by the Faith News Magazine. He was appointed on July 29, 2024 by the Ondo State Governor, Dr. Lucky Aiyedatiwa, as the Senior Special Assistant on Information and Communication Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, I present a man who has not just done well for himself academically, but he has also impacted this state politically with all his appointments. Please, let's stand up as we award him, recognizing him today with a resounding applause as Professor Nkiko presents the award to him. Please, we can do much better than that.
On behalf of the Center for Gender and Health Equity, I present to you Honorable Tomide Leonard Akinribido, a meritorious award for being a guest speaker. Thank you very much.
So without a woman, nothing, nothing, oh, woman, African woman, woman, African woman. is strong, and a woman is beautiful. She will fight for the wife, she will fight so strong until the end. Said a woman who pray, and a woman is beautiful. She will stand by your side until the time you know it. Who make my happy woman? Who make
Technical team, thank you. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I understand some people also are in a hurry to leave. I want to please appeal to us. It is the women that we are celebrating today. And we appeal for patience. We are going to speed up the process so that we'll finish on time. For us men, we will not leave you in the middle of the game. We are supporting you to the end. So we appeal to you, women, to also be patient, please. Right now, we want to leave the shore of Nigeria to move to Donald Trump's United States of America. And listen to an erudite scholar gently. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I know Prof is online. I want to invite Professor Healthy Adedolapo Jolade, who is the Specialty Director of the Clinical Nurse Specialist and Doctor of Nursing Practice Programs at the Hunter Bellevue School of Nursing, City University of New York. So please take over the presentation. Prof, I know you are online. Is Prof there? Hello, Prof, can you hear me?
I'm here.
Can you please unmute yourself so that we can hear you here?
Can you hear me? Hello?
All right, I can hear you now. We can hear you clearly. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Prof, for joining us. You can take it over from me, from there, and let's hear your voice.
If you can hear me, I want to... Is it okay to start? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, good morning from my end here. Good afternoon from Ondo, Aleobaye. I'm a GA Neo, and for the non-Ondo speaking ones, I'm sorry, I apologize. I always take the opportunity to speak my dialect when the occasion arises. It is a great pleasure to be here virtually today. I would like to begin by recognizing the VC of UNIMED, Professor Ebolu
Recording in progress.
the Deputy Vice Chancellor in sitting, all the distinguished deans, professors, faculty, students, and invited guests. But I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the director of the Center for Gender and Equity, Professor Duyilemi at the University of Medical Sciences, for the kind invitation and for providing me with the opportunity to be here today and actually share a few thoughts with you. So it's been a great pleasure being here. I've been listening to the presentations and I've been listening to the speeches. The thing is, like minds work together. From the VC brief address to Professor Olajuyigbe's his keynote address to Honorable Akinribido's, I can see traces of what I want to speak about today. So some of these, if it's repetitive, it wasn't intentional, believe me. I already prepared my speech a long time ago, like up to a week ago. So it's amazing to see how everything sort of coming together. So I titled my presentation as When Women Rise, Communities Thrive. So, and my charge today is to move from celebration to commitment. And why are we talking about this? Why does this conversation, why does it matter? It matters because women, we as women, we are catalysts for everything, including economic growth. We are central to family, to economic and social system. Communities flourish when women have opportunities. I know that the Professor Olajuyibe focused on education, which is wonderful, and Honorable Akinribido focused on technology, which is also wonderful. I'm a nurse by profession, and now I teach. I'm a full-time faculty. I'm going to focus on a little bit on education and more on health, so that hopefully this will make our presentation today to be very balanced. So, my opening thought is by a man, Kofi Annan, a Ghanaian diplomat and the 7th Secretary General of the United Nations from 1997 to 2006. And he said that there is no tool for development more effective than the empowerment of women. Because when we talk about development, we often think about infrastructures, buildings, technology, or economic involvement. Yet, one of the most powerful drivers of development is something more fundamental, is the empowerment of women, okay? Because women, we have a lot of strengths. We have cultural strength. Women, we are the resilient caregiving, community building, and foundation for family, social, societal structure. Through generations, we have kept traditions alive. We adapt to and we redefine them. We as women, we are custodians of culture. We know that our fathers don't matter. I acknowledge our fathers and I respect our fathers. They are our support system. They are our backbones. But women as custodians, we have strong history of entrepreneurship. Every woman, it doesn't matter whether you have PhD or 3 or 4 of those, we are always trying to buy and sell something. We have a side gig of doing something. We are so much into entrepreneurship. We can be doing one thing, we know how to sew, we know how to trade, we know how to do all of that. We do that and we do it seamlessly. We have active roles in market and trade, and we have cultural and community leadership. The last time I checked, the high entrepreneurial spirit across generations exists in Nigeria, where over 90% of Nigerian women want to start their own business, or they are highly motivated to build multiple income streams. So that's why we have a little bit of side gigs. You come to the office, you are selling something, or you are showing somebody a website where you can sell these or do that, or you cooking or you baking on the side, you making chin chin or puff puff or all of that. That is something that is very innate to women. So we like to do that. We have that that vibe and that sense in us to do that and do it very well. So when women rises, what changes? When women are empowered, what changes? Like I told you, I want to really focus on health, because I'm a healthcare provider by profession, and also, even though I teach now, when women rise, families are healthier. Women are the people that take care of the home. What do we eat? How do we balance life and exercise and this and that? We make sure our children get the best education. We make sure they get their vaccination. We make sure they get what they need. We make sure our husbands are healthy. We make sure that our community is safe. So our children stay in school longer when women are empowered, when women rise. We have the ability to advocate for better outcomes. Better outcomes by access to healthcare services, better outcomes to understanding nutrition, hygiene, the importance of this in what we do. Entrepreneurship helps to reduce poverty. Education helps to indirectly reduce poverty. Communities become safer and our economies grow stronger. This has to do with a woman that is empowered. So we're going to break this down. A Yoruba adage says, Ilera loro, which means health is wealth. Health is also power. If a woman is unhealthy, the family will suffer. So a healthy woman strengthens primary health care. That's starting from the home. The home will be healthy. So how do we strengthen that? Either you are a healthcare provider by profession, or you are a mother. A mother does everything, right? They put their hand on your forehead and they know what to do. They touch your tummy, they know what to do. That's what women are. So we are innate healthcare providers. So when we strengthen our primary health care, other than providing for our families, we make sure that our families are getting the best care they need. Our children get the screenings they need. We extend this to our husband. We extend this to our communities. We extend it to our families. So these help to improve the health of our families. The nurses, trained nurses and community care workers, shout out to all the nurses in the house and all the healthcare providers in the house. Empowerment of women help to improve what we do. I live in the United States of America. I've been here now for a couple of decades. Out of the 4.3 million nurses in America, over 90% are females. And before I left Nigeria, I know that the statistic is almost the same. I don't know the number of nurses in Nigeria as we speak, but I know that more than 75%, I would say more than 80% of nurses in Nigeria are also females. This is not by chance, okay? We as women are innate healthcare providers. And of course, we now have education to back it up, which make it even better. I respect our male nurses, and I wonderfully like what you do. And I've always been able to recruit my family members. I'm the only woman in my family of 6, 4 boys and a husband, also a man. I've been able to recruit at least 3 of them into healthcare professions. But the thing is, as a woman, we have this. We got it. We have a way that we approach things that make it so unique and so natural to us. But while we're doing all of this, there's one thing that we do culturally and professionally. Nurses are very bad at taking care of themselves. And as women too, this can translate to us. We want to be tough. Our mental health, we tend to ignore it. So we have to start normalizing the conversation. How do we take care of our mental health? How do we take care of our physical health while we are caring for everybody else? So like somebody said earlier, I think it was a Professor Olajuyibe and also the VC mentioned on this, economic empowerment. And the Honorable too was talking about the digital empowerment, how we can have that. So economic empowerment, women traditionally are entrepreneurs. A lot of our women are traders. So if they need the support. How do we support them? Because access to capital for women is very, very limited. So how do we do this? Digital literacy, that was mentioned a little bit ago, that is a way to do it. How do we improve access to low interest loans? How do we do this? There got to be a collective effort. Professor Olajuyibe is a wonderful researcher. She knows how to write for grants. If we cooperate with her, and then I know she's in STEM education, but regardless, she could use her grant writing abilities to support the women initiatives so that they could translate her expertise in writing grants to support the women type of grant that we wanted to write, to see how do we improve access to low interest rate? How do we get grants that we support women affinity groups initiatives? How do we do that? Mentorship was already spoken about. How do we encourage mentorship, especially in entrepreneurship? Mentorship in education, mentorship at the university level was discussed fully. How about in entrepreneurship? How do we develop mentorship in entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship meaning that in learning a trade, either formally or informally, going to trade school, going to somebody that knows how to sew. Nigerian fashion is wonderful. I will see a very small boo-boo made at the store in New York City, and they will say $150 a year. Are you kidding me? Nothing only around 55,000 Naija. But you can tell, how do we empower women? You don't have to have a university degree to do this. You can do this, and then you can also empower. How do we get it from point A to point B? That is our mentorship. Professor Olajuyigbe, I'm sorry I keep mixing your name up. You gave a very powerful personal story. Somebody that spent a few minutes with you, and what they deposited in you was very impactful and ended up benefiting so many other people. This is what we are talking about when we talk about mentorship. So it does not only have to be at the academic setting. It could be on the block, on the street. It could be in your home. It could be in your community. It could be in your circle of influence. So we need to encourage mentorship in all aspects of our life. Number 3, girls need to be educated. When girls are educated, our futures are secure. When girls are educated, the chances of this early marriage is reduced because the girl child will still be in school. The chances or the incidence of childbearing and having multiple children will be reduced because now you are educated. You want to have healthy children. You want to be able to provide for those children. And research have shown that educated females have fewer and healthier children. They make life-informed life decisions, and they also are more likely to encourage their children to go to school. So if we invest in girls, if we do this, our family well-being will be improved. STEM mentorship, STEM education, that is a science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's all over the world. There's so few women, so few girls in this STEM education. Thank God for the likes of our keynote speaker today, Professor Olajuyigbe. I believe she's already mentoring a lot of women. Looking at you and hearing you speak, a lot of girls in the audience today and all the other women that you have met along your professional life must know now they have somebody to look up to, somebody they can say, I want to be just like her when I grow up. So educating girls, not only does it expand opportunities, improve life, family well-being, it builds future leadership. And it's always said, a good leader has a succession plan. We can be all that. Today we are sitting on a seat. What happens when we are no longer on that seat? How are we preparing the next person that will come to that seat? How are we encouraging women to seek leadership roles? Leadership, the reference to Professor Alelo Williams, the first VC, and now, yes, thank God that we have a lot of VC, and we have our own dear Professor Adejuyigbe, our own VC at UNIMED, the first female VC, and I hope there will be more and more. But when you really look at it, there's still less than 10% of women leaders in Nigerian universities. I'm quoting the keynote speaker here. We could do this better. And when the Honorable was here speaking about women in leadership, leadership is not just in education. We need to be at the table where decisions are made. And decisions are made by politicians. I recruiting you to be a politician, but think about it. If you are not at the table when decisions are made, then you have to take whatever is handed out to you. So I believe that up to now, only about 4.2 parliamentary seats in Nigeria are held by women. This can be better. I believe that the population in Nigeria is not only 4% women and everybody else is males. So it has to be something that can be looked into, something that can be improved. And when we are talking about this, we are not doing this just because to make a token or to just say we want to have somebody there just for the optics, or just to say, oh, we have one woman or one minority on the board. We want authentic inclusion. We want authentic inclusion where the women are empowered to be key participants and bring ideas, and they can bring ideas that are measurable, that can actually translate into legislation, that can also translate into actions that will benefit everybody else. So rather than just filling a seat, we want to ensure that female representative will shape the agenda or the outcome in any level of governance. We do not want a symbolic representation. So leadership is not about permission, but it's about preparation, and it's about courage. And we need women to do this. And that's where mentoring comes from. That's where current leaders, women leaders, can start looking at who they can mentor, who can be the next female VC, who can be the next female STEM leader, like our keynote speaker, who can be the next fill in the blank as a woman in our communities. So women, yes, we have multiple roles. I heard at the beginning, and of course by my communications by Professor Duyilemi, I know there is a creche that has been built so that women that are working in the university will have somewhere for their children to be, that will make their life a lot easier. This is one of the multiple roles. So not only are we at home being a mother, being the keeper of the home, being the caregiver and the provider, physically making the food, preparing this and all of that. We also work, we have professions. Okay, some of us are community leaders, so we do so many things. So our workplace expectations is going to be a little bit compromised if we don't balance this well. And how do we do this? We are strong. We have to show the very bright face. You could have a woman that will be at home, have a sick child, did not get a good sleep, still have to get up in the morning, come to the office and do what they need to do. So as a result of that, there could be a silent burnout. So this is something that we need a support system. We need a support system that would have to take care of us as women, as mothers, as a women leader, and at the same time, while we are able to give our best to our professions and to the community. So now, what are we going to do? We already know. Now we have addressed a few things where women can lead academically, in the community, in technology. So what do we do now? We need to really think about it. Everybody in audience today, we need to really think, what policy are we going to change? Who are we going to mentor? What initiative are we going to fund? And what barrier are we going to challenge? Look at those 4 things and think about it and think. Because today we are going to have commitments. Our commitment will be, everyone in the audience, you have to commit to mentor at least one young woman every year. Please. You need to support at least one woman-led initiative. We need our fathers and our husbands and our brothers in this. We need to advocate for at least one equitable policy. And by saying equitable policy, something that will be equally accessible to both men and women. And then as a woman leader, as a potential woman leader, you need to invest in your own growth. And how can you invest in your own growth? You make yourself better, continue education, read books, learn a trade, how to get things done. We need to start working on that. So for the future, we are going to educate more girls, because historically speaking, girls are not the priority for education. Mostly for families that have multiple children, the boy child, the men are usually the priority for education. So please educate girls, okay? Now we need to have thriving women entrepreneurs, and we need to have strong community leadership. So my call to action today invest in women. You've heard it from several speakers before me. Mentor young girls. The same thing you have heard. Support women-owned businesses. International Women's Day is not a moment. It is a movement. We need to understand that. We are celebrating for today, but this is a movement. This is an ongoing movement because when women rise, communities thrive. I'm going to leave you with this quote by Michelle Obama. There is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. So, with that being said, I thank you again for the opportunity to be here today, and I am so glad to be here. And thank you so much. Have a good day. Is there any questions for me? Or I don't know how this goes, but that's the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. There is no limit to what women can accomplish in the society. And I also love the opening quote, the opening thought of the presentation, where she quoted Kofi Annan saying that the best way we can have development in our society is to empower the women. And without any doubt, women are empowered. Now, women are not just surviving, they are thriving in the society. They are leading and they are shaping the future that our society actually desires. I think we should give ourselves a round of applause. Women are doing quite well. At this point, we are going to use somebody as a point of contact to Professor Jolade in the United States to take our award on our behalf. I have the honor to bring to this side of the divide. You can see the way I'm introducing you now. See how, when you come back from leave, we'll undo that one. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Ms. Toyin Anyantayo, representing Professor Jolade and taking our award on our behalf. Oh, I can see people coming also to join. That's nice. Let it be on record that Professor Jolade is a distinguished fellow of the Carnegie African Diaspora Fellowship Program. Dr. Jolade is deeply committed to global health and academic collaboration. She has held numerous academic and leadership roles at Hunter College, City University of New York, published and presented nationally and internationally, and has been inducted as a fellow of the American Academy of Nursing, one of the highest honors in the nursing profession. Once again, a round of applause for Professor Jolade.
Hello. So on behalf of the university, Prof, you spoke, gave a very wonderful lecture, which was very, very interesting. So on behalf of the University of Medical Sciences, we want to present this meritorious award to you for all that you have been doing for this university, your donations over the years that you have been giving. We want to appreciate, and is well noted. So we'll be presenting to you, as one of our guest speakers, this award, or meritorious award, to you, Professor Mrs. Jolade Adedolapo.
Thank you very much. Now, the award is given. We want to allow Professor Jolade to say one thing or the other. People hear that we have been giving awards. Prof, David Naira here, and I know that since you are with Donald Trump there, I'm expecting you to pronounce some dollars. For us, there are a lot of things that women want to do in this university. The other time when we met, it was focused on crèche, and I think we are almost getting there, but we still need resources. And I want to believe some dollars should actually roll down to this side of the divide. So I'm going to ask them to unmute you so that you can pronounce the dollars we are expecting from you.
Thank you. I've been muted. I think they muted me. Can you hear me now? I think somebody muted me.
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you so very much. I really appreciate UNIMED for always celebrating me every time, and I did not take this for granted. Thank you so much to UNIMED, to Professor Duyilemi, and everybody else. So for the crèche, we are going to, myself and my husband, we are going to donate a sum of 250,000 naira. When I come home very soon, I will bring in the dollars, so don't worry about that. But right now, I will be donating some naira. So, Auntie Tony, my sister-in-law, we are getting the donation on the award on my behalf. She will be responsible for giving you the money. Thank you so much.
Very grateful to you for that donation. I know we'll still see you when you come around, and we'll see you in camera to talk about other things we are going to get. Please, a round of applause for Prof. A round of applause. So very quickly, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, don't mind us. It is the women we are celebrating. And women can multitask. They can do so many things. I'm trying to wear the toga of a woman today and see if I can do so many things at the same time. One of our awardees, the people representing her, they have other places also to touch, and we don't want to continue to keep them here. And I'm sure if at the moment I looked out, I've seen a bullion van. I thought it was only at Bodillion that we can see bullion van. They've brought their own bullion van, and they are saying what they are giving to us today. Please fasten your belt. Something is about to happen. We don't want anybody to fall down, and it's going to be huge. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to invite to this side of the divide the representatives of High Chief Mrs. Stella Olaki Iton Akinsheye. Please, a round of applause for her. Please, let's keep clapping. Let's keep clapping. Don't let that affect our money. Don't let it affect our money. I can see. Welcome, ma. We appreciate you. Thank you. Please don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. We have heard 250. I know what we are going to hear now. It's going to be 250 multiplied by 4. We are expecting millions. Ladies and gentlemen, High Chief Mrs. Stella Olaki Iton Akinsheye was born in Ondo on 26th August 1948 to the family of late Pa Amos Olabanji Oluwole and Mrs. Sabina Oluwole. Her father, late Pa Amos Olabanji Oluwole, was of Chief Lekian family in Igbokuta, and a mother of Chief Nobafemi family in Okerowo, Ondo. She had her primary education at Methodist Primary School, Okeidore. She later attended Timi Agbale Secondary School, Ede. Early in life, she had so much passion for buying and selling. Hence, she took to trading immediately she left secondary school. She practiced her trading activities in Ondo for a while before migrating to Lagos, where she majored in selling textile materials at Balogun Market in central Lagos, where she was honored with the title of Iyalaje of Ojora by Oba Aromire, the Ojora of Ojora Kingdom, Lagos. In the year 2015, she was honored with the title of Iyaloja of Olashade Tinubu Ojo Ultra Modern Market Phase 2, Alaba, by the Iyalaje General. Iyaloja General President Folashade Tinubu Ojo, and was crowned by the Iyaloja General accordingly. She is the patron, founder of several social clubs in Ondo and Lagos. She is married to Chief Rufus Abiodun Akinsheye Lomafe Idibo of Ondo Kingdom, and was blessed with God-fearing, caring, and loving children and grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to us High Chief Mrs. Stella Olaki Iton Akinsheye.
On behalf of Center for Gender and Health Equity, we are proud of our High Chief. We are aware of her philanthropic activities in Ondo and Lagos. And the Center for Gender is giving this meritorious award to our High Chief as an entrepreneur in recognition of what she has been doing in the community and the nation at large. Thank you very much, ma.
On our mommy's behalf, she donated 250,000 naira.
Supported.
On support of our mommy, both of us, we support her with 50,000.
Thank you, ma. Yes, ma. Thank you, ma. God bless.
I was expecting a more responsive applause. Please, let's put our hands together for them. I think we are getting somewhere, little by little. We are almost there. I believe we'll get there. Women are wonderful. Keshoma. I want to believe our panelists are in the house. I think we are left with one. Is Ambassador Remy in the house? Online. Please help me check if Ambassador Remy is online. No. Okay. While we continue to wait for Ambassador Remy to join us, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have a panel session very quickly, but they've not stated here who is coordinating what. I noticed that our panelists are already seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Oyeyemi, who is going to be coordinating the panel discussion. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Oyeyemi. She has been waiting patiently for this particular session, and I can assure you, this is one session you are going to enjoy. Maybe what we'll do, ma'am, while you speak from this side, moderating, we would like to encourage the panelists. Maybe we'll give them, I can see some of them already seated in the front. We bring others also to the front. We do some reshuffling so that they can speak from there, and the moderator will be here
Happy International Women's Day once again. No response, are we tired? So this time, it's panel section. We have very, very senior colleagues in our midst who are experienced, who have gone ahead of us. They have the experience. They have gone through a number of things in their career, and they have the experience. They can guide us. They can tell us things from their experience. That's the essence of this session. Just like Professor Jolade said, there is a need for each woman to mentor another female, to mentor another girl or another woman. And that's the essence of this session. So once again, let me identify our panelists. So we have number one amidst them, we have Professor Abimbola Oluwatosin. Please, ma, come to the front seat here, ma. A round of applause, please. Professor Abimbola Oluwatosin, she's the Dean, Faculty of Nursing, University of Medical Sciences. Please come to the high table, ma, so that we can see and we can hear you clearly. Thank you, ma. So she is Professor Abimbola Oluwatosin, the Dean, Faculty of Nursing. Thank you, ma, for being here. Then the next on the list is Professor Bolanle Adefioye. Professor Bolanle Adefioye. Professor Bolanle Adefuye. Is she here, please? Okay. All right. She's from Faculty of Medicine and Surgery. A round of applause for her, please. All right. Thank you. So we also have Professor Kofoworola Shoyebi from Radiology Department. Thank you, ma. Then next is Professor Mojisola O. Inkiko, the Dean, Faculty of Science. Please clap for her. Next to her is Dr. Joshua Falade from Faculty of Medicine and Surgery. Is he here? Okay. We move on. And the next person will be Dr. Mrs. Deborah Adebukola Oloruntola. Dr. Mrs. Deborah Adebukola Oloruntola. All right. Like I said, these are women with so much experience. You can see everybody seated here is a professor. They are academics. They have a lot of experience. And today being International Women's Day, we want to ask them a few questions so that they can share with us. So joining them now is Dr. Sholakpe Oluwashuyi, representing Dr. Falade. And like I said, we just want to ask them a few questions so that we can learn and glean from them. But we don't have all the time. But one thing you should see, these are successful academics. After here, you can meet them, ask them questions, and if you are looking for a mentor, you can listen to them. Probably you can be interested in picking one of them as a mentor, because in their own chosen career as academics, they are all success. So the first question, I will ask for the want of time. One question will be thrown to one person. Ideally, they can all talk about a question, but if we go to that way, we are not going to live here. So one person will ask the question, and if what they say is interesting to you, you want to engage them after, they are all in UNIMED as at the moment. They are all working with UNIMED, and there are also other professors here you can talk with. So the first question I want to ask, we go to Professor Oluwatosin. And the first question I want to ask is that, as an academic, what experience have you had as an academic, as a female academic, that make you proud, like, yeah, I'm a woman, but I'm happy I chose this career path?
Thank you very much. You are asking for an experience. To zero down on one thing is very difficult, but I want to say that finding myself in academics, it's a long-term decision, which started when my father refused that I should go to the nursing school. I promised myself I'm going to go to nursing school, but I'm going to get to the top of that career. And that determination started at that time. That was a few years, 1975. And because I had that determination, from School of Nursing to School of Midwifery, I kept that goal in view. And to the glory of God, today, I'm happy. And before he died, unfortunately, I was on my PhD, but I think I made him glad that though I insisted I want to go to nursing school, I wasn't set back. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma. She said she made a decision that she will not stop until she gets to the top. She has only answered my question. I'm sure she faced so many things along the line, but she has answered my question. What is that moment that she's so proud of herself that I'm doing well as a woman being in the academics? So my next question will go to Dr. Shola. Dr. Sholakpe, and my question will be, what stimulated your interest as a woman to go into academics? Why did you choose academics? There are students here, postgraduate students, undergraduates, and they are thinking, what should I do? But what stimulated your interest to go into the academics that you probably can share with them?
Okay, thank you very much, Ma, for the question. From my own experience, I'm young, right? However, I watched my mom. My mom also went into academics. She's an electrical engineer, and actually saw what she could actually do, training us, and also helping other children, community as well. And without that background of academics in her, because from her story, she told us that her parents didn't want her to go to school, so she started as a student in a technical college before going into the university. So thereafter, getting a master's, and looking up to her, I could say that gave her an edge over other women, and at the same time men, that didn't actually further to school then. And then, apart from the, should I say, the opportunity she got from going out or going all out, training herself, just because she wanted to prove a point. Apart from that opportunity she got, just because she wanted to prove a point to her parents. she was able to have influence. She became a woman of influence. She became someone every other person look up to. She was able to make a decision on her own. She had a voice. So going into academics create this opportunity for you to actually have a voice. If I'm not into academics, I will not be sitting here right now. That's one thing. So it's great opportunity, give you live over others as a woman to actually come and be in this kind of gathering, in this kind of setting. So when the cells prepare, not into academics, will not be sitting here. And even looking at this, should I say, the economic situation in this generation, we particularly have people into academics going into business as well. However, if someone just have the background of entrepreneurship alone, without having the academic part of it, progressing and becoming wealth from that entrepreneurship is kind of a little slimmer, like given a little slimmer chance than someone with the academics background. You have the influence, you have the opportunity to speak with other people, you have the network to tell people what you're actually selling. So there's a lot of leverage and opportunity, and I can say my mom was a trigger for me being into the academic sector. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So my next question will go to Professor Nkiko. Today you are a professor, you are successful, you have gotten to the apex of your career. Are there some points in your career that you think, can I really survive this? As a woman, do I really belong here? Did I choose well, being a woman and being here? If yes, how did you survive it? You want to learn?
Thank you very much. Yes, there were times of challenges. The first one was when I was doing my PhD. I had a difficult supervisor, and it was like I was going to give up. But there was one thing behind my back. If I give up because I have a difficult supervisor, he's not the one going to lose. And what's actually fueled my interest, it was focus. So I decided to focus. I decided I was not going to lose my targets. That is the end result. And so, with resilience and God on my side, I was able to overcome that. I think the second one was balancing academics with entrepreneurship. I started out in the industry. I had so many consultancies, many things I was doing for them. And of course, when you are making money, he does not give you time for other things. And so one day I sat down, choose to be an academic or choose to be in the industry. And I made a difficult choice of adjusting around that and spending more time on my research, which eventually paid off because I was happy when I had some grants, international, to do some other work. And then, when I made that focus and that decision, it paid off in the long run. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Please, let me invite Mrs. Grace Ademola Shokoya to join them on the panelist table. She's the Deputy Director, Office of Disability Affairs and Services. But sorry, I was not given the name of the institution. Please come up, ma. Oh, thank you so much. You are welcome. So from what our panelists have been saying, one word keep recurring: focus. None of them have said I didn't have challenges, I find it like bed of roses, but they kept saying something. I focused on where I am going. Even when it was not easy. She said she had to make difficult choice. She had to tell herself the truth. She didn't say somebody tell her, oh, make this choice. But all of them have been saying, I decided, I made a choice. I hope we are learning from them. So my next question will go to Professor Adefuye. Adefuye. Please forgive me for not pronouncing it right. And my simple question is, how has mentorship helped you to rise the ladder of your career? And what do you think? Is there a right way that you think students, early career researchers should go about getting mentorship, or we just assume somebody is going to come out there running after me, imposing him or herself on me as a mentor?
Thank you very much. There is an adage in Yoruba: when you see a tortoise on the top of a tree, you definitely know that somebody must have taken that tortoise up there. It cannot just get there on its own. I would say I can never be here if not for my mentors. I would say the mentorship actually started from my secondary school. My biology teacher, my chemistry teacher, they were wonderful women. They actually encouraged me to be a good and a sound science student. By the time I was coming out from secondary school, I came out in flying colors. I happened to get the best results from the West Africa WAEC result. I got the best result, courtesy of these wonderful women. When I now got to the university, I met lecturers with high integrity, hardworking people, people that you wish to emulate. And you know, medicine, you see everybody welcoming you. You are welcome to this noble profession. And you see in them that nobility. So I would say, in all, I was encouraged by these wonderful people. But more importantly, when I came out from the university and I needed to do my residency program, I met a wonderful old man in University College Hospital, Professor Onodeko, an elderly Professor B.O. Onodeko, Babatunde Onodeko. He's still living, and in fact, he's a living legend. He actually mentored me. I am a professor of respiratory medicine. I'm a pulmonologist, and Baba too happens to be a retired pulmonologist. He mentored me in such a way that going before exams, Baba used to give me past questions to write for him, and then, of course, bedside teaching, so many other things. And I would say that I was also very fortunate. One of the professional exams, Baba examined me. He actually didn't say a word, but when I left, he examined me with another lecturer. I was told that the younger lecturer that was with him asked him, "Baba, do you have any question?" He said, "What else do you want me to ask her?" After answering all those questions. So, and Baba is not just a very wonderful mentor to me. In fact, he also mentored Professor Adeyeye, whose inaugural lecture we went for just last week. So it's important for you to meet wonderful people, but it's also important for you as students to be wonderful yourself. You must be hardworking. You must also, you must be ready to learn. If somebody is ready to, share knowledge with you, you must also be ready to make best use of that knowledge. And he was not the only one. There are so many, that Professor Odushote, Professor Adelowo, the only rheumatologist in Nigeria for a very long time. They were wonderful lecturers that I met. They were ready to share their wealth of wisdom. But I keep saying it, Yoruba people will say, "Ọmọ tó bá ṣípá, òun ni wọ́n máa gbé." So it's important for us as mentees to stretch our hands. And I'm happy to also inform you that I was a president of Medical Women Association of Nigeria in Ogun State 2015 to 2017 to 2019. And I've mentored so many wonderful medical students far and wide, all over the world. I'm satisfied, I'm happy with my mentors. I'm also happy to have impacted so many others. So we give God the glory.
She was mentored. She opened up to mentorship. When those people gave her things to do, she didn't say, "Oh, your own is too much, Baba." And she also gave back to mentor others. My next question is still an offshoot of that, to Professor Kofoworola. We all know that we have, I don't want to call it generational changes. Generational changes. Things were different. Like we are moving from one generation to another in this age and time. When students often think they are smarter than all those who can teach them or mentor them. How do you think? What do you think mentorship form can take? I believe, I've been told that mentorship is what is voluntary because the mentee must be willing to be mentored. It cannot be forced on people. But in this generation, when those who are supposed to be mentored think they know, the little they know far more than those who should mentor them. How do you think we should go about it to build the next generation?
Thank you so much for that question. I want to start by saying there is an innate nature in all of us that desires something. And I will want to call it the God factor. When you have the fear of God, you will find out that you keep looking for how to please Him. Those things that would delight Him, that will make Him bless you. So it's that innate knowledge. It's not really active. Maybe I can use two stories to back this up. I had a mentor, Professor S.B. Lagunjoye, of blessed memory. But that man was a father to me. We started on a platform of almost hatred for me. I had gone to UCH to prepare for my examinations so that I wouldn't have distractions and all that. And Professor Lagunjoye had given us residents an appointment to meet him in his office for a teaching. Then he changed the time. Because I came from Lagos, and we didn't have cell phones and all we have now. I didn't know he had changed the time from 2 p.m. to 12 noon. So at about 10 minutes to 2, I went to near his office waiting. Shortly after I got there, a phone started ringing on the corridor. And it was about when my husband called me. And I had been hearing voices in Professor Lagundoye's office. So I thought he had guests, and I didn't want to knock. So when the phone rang, I didn't know when because it would be about 2, and he might come out with his guests and see me making calls, and wonder, this one came all the way from Lagos to be answering telephone calls. So I didn't know what to do. So I picked the phone up and quickly said to him, I have a 2 o'clock meeting, and I think it's 2 now, I have to quickly go. Just about then, Prof came out. And who came out with him? The residents of UCH. So they were the ones being taught, and I thought Prof had guests. Prof saw me by the phone. The look on his face was, this one came all the way from Lagos to be answering. I tried to explain to him. I tried, he ignored me. After all the residents had gone, he came out of his office with a load of books. I tried to help him. He refused. I walked all the way to his car with him. He refused to give me those books, but I kept following. So when we got downstairs, he said, if you came here to learn, meet me in my office tomorrow morning at 7:30. You can guess when I got to that office. I got there before 7, and I waited, and people saw me by the door, waiting and waiting and waiting. And then one of the radiographers came and said, excuse me, you've been waiting here since. Any problem? I said, yes. Prof said I should. He said, no. Prof is right now in Owo. I almost passed out. And I realized immediately it was part of my punishment. Then I asked the lady, when will he be coming back? Because he gave me that 7:30 appointment. She said, maybe the next working day, which will be Monday. Monday morning, I resumed at that place. When Prof saw me, he said, good morning. Of course, I dared not say, I said, I was here on Friday, sir, and that was it. I dared not say, you didn't tell me you. Who was I? So, I left it at that. Now, Prof gave me an assignment. Tell me about barium studies. And I started, you prepare the patient. He said, by wearing a brand new outfit for him, or him or her, or putting head oh God. You know what I found myself learning so fast now? Prof dealt with me. I should have hated him so much and turned back. That is it by force? There are other lecturers. But I knew there was a lesson to learn. And that's what I call the God factor. I kept following and following. Now, Prof eventually started relating with me. And when he did, he took everything concerning me into his attention. Is it how to buy shares? Is it how to this? Is it how to... In fact, my being selected as one of the 12 participants from Africa to go to America for a training in ultrasonography way back in 2001, when ultrasound just came to Nigeria, was Prof's influence. And it all started from there, you know. So I didn't see punishment as hatred. I knew there was a lesson to learn. I realized I offended him. He eventually understood that it was because I didn't get the information, but he treated me well. Something else I would want to quickly say. While on that trip, something happened. They gave us an assignment that I forgot entirely about when we came to Nigeria. When we got back to America, 2 years later, they said on a Thursday afternoon, they will expect the assignment on our HOD's table at 8 a.m. on Monday. What assignment? I had completely forgotten. So by the time I knew what it was, there was no longer sleep. It was your experience about the Radiological Society of North America's. So computers were fresh to us here. I borrowed somebody's laptop. That person's assignment was on the desktop. Something was telling me I could quickly take a cue from what he had done. But I said I borrowed his laptop to use. I didn't ask to use any of the information, so I was not going to open. So I did my assignment the way I knew to. Somehow, mine and he's from Uganda. There were 12 of us from different parts of the country in Africa. So when we submitted, 2 assignments were selected, mine and the Ugandans. No, you are not, the point of clapping is not. So they called us from class. By now, only 6 of us were recalled for the second arm of the class. So they called 2 of us from class to come and do our presentation. When we got there, Michael from Uganda, quite energetic, he decided to present first. And as Michael started presenting, I felt so ashamed of myself. I said, no wonder that thing was on the screen for me to look at. I could have done my work differently. I could have done this. He talked about graphs, tables, this, that, and he had about 57 slides. I had only 15. I was... So by the time he finished, Prof said to me, he should, or rather told him, too long a presentation, he will remove this, he will remove that, I wondered what he would say about mine when he heard about it. So when he said it was my turn to present, I said I was helping Michael write. He said present. And by this time, the rest of the 4 came in. The shame was going to be so much. So Prof kept saying present, present. So I got there to present, and I started. Since it was an experience, it was my first time of coming to America. We went to the president of RSNA's office, home. He gave us dinner. He took us to White House. I gave them all the. Do you know that was the winning assignment? So what did I say? I said integrity posted me forward. All right. So I will want to say that, as I'm saying this, it came to my mind. Integrity posted Joseph.
Thank you,
in the Bible forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma. So many, unfortunately, almost all our students have gone. So many things to be learned. Mentorship is not you forcing your will, imposing yourself on the person who is mentoring you. And followership means trusting whoever is leading you. Thank you. So, Dr. Olubukola, my question is, as females, we talk a lot about family support in moving along the ladder in our career. I've seen PhD students that got married and that's the end of their PhD. Things like that. How do you think, what do you want to say about family support? How can a woman position herself, even in that marriage, to get the best of support from the husband, from the in-laws, even from people around us? Please, ma, I will appreciate it if you can be brief because of time.
Thank you very much. To start with, for a woman or a female academician to support in the house, number one, that person must be humble. To receive support, okay. Yes, to receive support in the house, the way the woman position herself is number one. If the person is kind of person that is proud, no matter how you are in the house, you cannot receive support from the family, from your husband. So that person must be submissive. Irrespective of the position she is, she must be supportive and submissive. And another area in terms of maybe financial aspect in the house, she should not hold everything to herself. She should not be greedy. She should be willing to support her husband in terms of money also. Maybe they want to buy some things in the house, or they want to provide for the children in the house. She should not say, yes, it's the responsibility of the husband. If the woman takes it like that, she will not receive support from the husband. And also to the family member, maybe relatives, that person must, show interest, showing love to them, that yes, anytime they are around, they are welcoming. And whatever she asks them to do, they will do it for her, irrespective of the stage, irrespective of the level of the career or the stage she is. So whatever she has them, everything centered on submission. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma. And finally to Mrs. Shokoya. What do you think the institutions can do to support people with disabilities who are passionate? I've seen them within the country, outside the country, who are doing well in their career. But do you think the institutions should do more, even as academics? What exactly do you think, working with these people, the universities, our educational systems should do more to encourage them?
Thank you so very much for this question. My first encounter with people with disabilities started at my university level. I had classmates who were having one disability or the other. And I saw how institutional support could help women especially who have disabilities to thrive in the educational sector. I had people with hearing impairment, people with visual impairments, intellectual disability in the same class. And what made the difference was having support in terms of learning support, having gadgets that could help to take recording of lectures, that could help to take braille typing of lectures for students, having walking aids to help them maneuver around the university campuses, and also having accommodation support in the hostels. You know, people with disabilities are just like every other person. They didn't pray to have disability. It came. And then they need to adjust to society, to the educational sector especially, because education is information, information is power, and they need to have this education so that they can be lifted above the lower strata of the society. When they are educated rightly, they can also contribute their own quota to the economic empowerment of their own family members or people around them, and then the nation in general. Right here in UNIMED, we have started on this leg of having people with disabilities study alongside others without disability. I wouldn't even say without disability, because each and every person have one disability or the other. I'm using a pair of glasses now because my eyes do not see clearly without the glasses. That is one disability. So we need to equip them. We need to help them. I remember when the director of the center and I went out on sensitization around the campus, trying to sensitize people of, having people with disabilities in the hostel, in the classrooms. A question came that was shocking to me. And somebody asked, this was a master's student class, so when these people graduate, what certificate are you going to give them? And it was like a very absurd question. If this person studied medicine, for example, of course, is going to have an MBBS, just like every other student that studied medicine. So I don't think, even in the university community, that we are accepting of people with disabilities. And that is why the Office of Disability Affairs is there, to help to sensitize, to educate, and also to equip students so that they'll be able to learn, just like every other student. I'll stop there.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope you know that by now, I don't need to tell you that we cannot really trash this issue completely. So you have them, and so many of our professors and senior academics in the system, but I will give them, each of them, 30 seconds to give us their parting words. You have the mic, maybe we should start with you. Okay. Parting words, 30 seconds.
My parting words will be that we should be kind to persons with disabilities. They have a lot to give. The body can be disabled, the mind is not. The mind is working.
We should be kind to the disabled. We have taken that. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I want to say that as a woman in academics, we should have it at the back of our mind that no matter the position, no matter the level we are, we should be submissive. We should love people around us so that people around us also will give us our respect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My parting words would be, we should be kind to the patients. They came to us with problems. We should not add to it. I say this to my residents. A God bless you that a patient says to you will take you places.
Thank you, ma'am. We should be kind to the patients, to those who are in the medic. Yes, you are not a doctor, you are not a nurse. Be kind to your student and all those who have come across your path.
Mentors are people you wish to become. And it can be anybody in the society. As a child, Mrs. Bolanle Dare was somebody that was being mentioned every day. She was a commissioner. She was a doctor, not a medical doctor. But the fact that I kept hearing doctor, doctor, that endeared me to science class. And of course, I met good people all the way.
Thank you, ma. Mentors are those you want to be like. You appreciate what they have done, and you want to glean from them.
Thank you very much. I want to say that whatsoever your hands finds to do, do it with all your might. Be passionate in what you are doing. That passion will give you the necessary drive to attain your goal.
Thank you, ma. Be passionate with whatever you are doing.
Thank you very much. I'm going to leave us with this word. Whatever we determine, whatever we see ourselves becoming, is what we're going to be. irrespective of the situation, irrespective of the downfalls, economic, whatever. If you have made up your mind that this is what I am going to be, if you've set your goals, if you've made the plan, you have the vision, just go for it. That's what you're going to be. Being a woman doesn't make you less of a person. Being a female gender doesn't make you less of a person. You can't be that person you've seen yourself to be. Thank you.
Whatever you see yourself to be, you can become. What do you see yourself becoming in the next 10 years? Yes, ma'am.
Women were created basically to make what was not good, good. Genesis 2:18 says, and the Lord God said, it is not good that a man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet. If it had been good, we would not be created. So wherever you are as a woman, make it intentional to make the place a better place. Thank you.
Be intentional at making that place a better place, at causing a change. Women, we don't have excuse. That's the summary of all what these resourceful, impactful women have said. Being a female is not an excuse. Get up, get going. Forget about the barriers. You can get there. Please help me clap for them as they go and take their seat. We have learned a lot from them. Please clap for them. Thank you, Mas. Thank you so much. We are grateful for your time. We are grateful for those words. So finally, I just want to tell us and remind us, this session was anchored by OWSD UNIMED. That's Organization of Women in Science in Developing Country. We work together with the Center of Gender, and we are grateful to our director, Professor Duile, for all the support, for bringing us together so that we can be here. Thank you, Ma. We appreciate your support. So if you are here to join that, our WhatsApp platform where we share most of our information, I will put the link on the UNIMED Women platform so that you can join. There is much more. It's basically to encourage us so that we all grow together, learn from each other. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.
Please, let's put our hands together for the panelists and the moderator of the session. The only thing I picked so many things, but the one I picked is that you should be kind to us. And I want that kindness to start with me. Please be kind to me. And Professor Oluwatosin also said so, and I love that one. It is not good for who to be alone. And you can see I've been alone. I know somebody here will pick me. I won't be alone from here. Please mentor me so that I won't be alone. Once again, let's put our hands together for the panelists. I enjoyed the session thoroughly. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to continue with presentation of awards. But before we continue, let me say this. One house, please. Let me say this. We still await your kindness. And we know all of us here can support the cause that the women in UNIMED are working towards. Don't let 300, 500, 1 million that people have been donating to intimidate you. I know women are wonderful. We are coming to everybody, even the non-awardees. And I know you are going to support us. Is that correct? Would you support us or not? We are not talking, no. No matter how little, you must support us. Ladies and gentlemen, the next awardee is no other person than the immediate past Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic of the University of Medical Sciences, Professor Rose Angela Nwuba. Ma, could you please come to the front here as we take your citation? And I'm sure women in Unimed, they don't take last for any reason. I'm sure the Deputy Vice Chancellor, whom I always find it difficult to describe her in the past, we donate something huge, huge. I would say huge. Please, a round of applause for her. I'm sure that is going to happen. Technical people, don't mind the last line of the citation. We did it when she was still the Deputy Vice Chancellor. But we can't just be reading. She is our mother. Over to you, please, our electronic citation.
Rose Angela Ifeanyiwa Onwuba is a professor of molecular and cellular parasitology at the Department of Biological Sciences, University of Medical Sciences, UNIMED, Ondo City, Ondo State, Nigeria. She took up the position of Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic in August 2021 after serving as the Dean of Postgraduate School, Dean of the Faculty of Science, and the pioneer head of the Department of Biological Sciences of the University of Medical Sciences, Ondo. Professor Nwuba graduated as the best graduating student from the Department of Zoology, University of Jos, Nigeria in 1982. She obtained the master's degree in parasitology at the University of Ibadan in 1984 and was immediately employed as an assistant lecturer. Her PhD degree in cellular parasitology was awarded by the University of Ibadan in 1997 for a research project sponsored by the UNDP, World Bank, WHO, TDR training grant at Trinity College, Dublin, Republic of Ireland. She was a visiting research fellow at the then International Laboratory for Research on Animal Diseases, Nairobi, Kenya, and a postdoctoral fellow at the National Institute for Medical Research, London, under the sponsorship of the Wellcome Trust Fellowship Training Grant between 2002 and 2004. Prior to her transfer of service to UNIMED, she lectured at the University of Ibadan from 1985 to 2018. During that period, she rose from the position of an assistant lecturer and a pioneer PhD student of Professor Mark Onwagu's newly founded cellular parasitology program to the head of the program at the Cell Biology and Genetic Unit, Department of Zoology. Professor Nwuba led several project research groups, both as co-principal investigator and principal investigator at the University of Ibadan. She and a molecular and cellular parasitology malaria research group were instrumental to the successful winning of several international grants from international funding agents, including the World Health Organization, MacArthur Foundation, and Wellcome Trust. During this period, she supervised over 45 postgraduate students for both their master's and PhD degrees. In UNIMED, she has served as a member of the University Governing Council since its inception and has headed several university committee boards. She won a Seeding Labs Instrumental Award in 2018 that provided research equipment for the Department of Biological Sciences to accelerate capacity building, institutional research, and effective teaching of graduate students in molecular parasitology, biotechnology, and genetics. She was successful in the 2019 TET Fund National Research Fund Award on a project titled Epigenetic Determinants of Dizygotic Twinning, Non-Identical Twins in Southwest Nigeria. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she was instrumental in setting up 2 molecular biology labs. One was an NCDC-accredited molecular biology laboratory at the Center of Molecular Bioscience and Medical Genomics, which was equipped by the Ondo State COVID-19 Response Fund and the PTF COVID-19 Fund. The second was a TED Fund-funded molecular biology unit at the Central Research and Reference Laboratory under the leadership of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Adesegun Fatusi. Professor Nwuba is a member of many well-renowned associations, widely traveled, has facilitated many workshops, and presented numerous papers at both national and international scientific conferences. She has authored more than 50 publications on topics related to the epidemiology, immunology, molecular biology, and genetics of infectious diseases in several reputable scientific journals. Professor Rosangela Ifeanyiwa Onwuba is happily married to engineer Mark Onwuba and blessed with 3 lovely children.
Thank you very much. I think we can do much more than that. Please, a round of applause as I invite the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Patrick Olanrewaju Osho, to present the award to her.
On behalf of the University of Medical Sciences, we are awarding you this distinguished award, presenting to Professor Rose Angela Nwuba as the first female Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University of Medical Sciences, in recognition of your contribution, growth, and development to the university. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, and thank you for recognizing me and giving me this distinguished award. And thank you for the organizers of this occasion. I know the importance of what the women need in this university, and I'll do my best to support in any way possible. I'm not going to announce anything, but I'm going to send something to the director for that purpose. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Please a round of applause for Professor Nwuba one more time. When the sum you are expecting is huge, you don't mention it in the public. And also being a public servant, she will not want to do that. I understand. But I have an idea. If I mention it, you may fall down from your chairs. Please a round of applause for her one more time. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, the next awardee, she's coming here. She will be getting an award for herself, and also she will be representing somebody else. For that reason, I believe this one is going to be, lend me one adjective to use. Maybe by the time she gets here, it will have dropped on my mind, the way I'm going to describe. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to bring to this side of the divide Honorable Nurse Patience Ariola Adamolekun. I've introduced her today severally in diverse ways, only for me to be told, how can you introduce her without telling the whole world that she is one of us? Homegrown. She is the head. I hope I remember. I tried to cram it when they told me. The head, maternal nursing, they gave me 3 things. So maternal, neonatal, and pediatric, our child health, nursing. Please give her a round of applause. And the other thing I want to say is rare for you to find honorable in the appellations of nurses. For the first time, I'm meeting, for the first time for me, I'm meeting honorable nurse. And for that reason, I am convinced beyond every reasonable doubt that what we are going to get will not just be honorable, but will be so remarkable that in the next 1 year, that is what we'll be discussing. And when you look at her, she's also delectable. She's beautiful. So I expect something beautiful also from her. Ladies and gentlemen, please, she's already been decorated. And I'm expecting also decorated. This one is going to be huge. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to invite Professor Leroy Edozen, the Dean, Faculty of Health Law and Humanities, to present this award to Honorable Nurse Patience Ariola Adamolekun. If you check the material with you, she has a very long profile, a multiple award winner, somebody who has occupied several leadership positions in the past and at the moment. Please, Prof, we are waiting for you. Prof, come and help us to do this. Because when we are giving a beautiful nurse an award, we need a very handsome dean also to do that. Nurses, they don't carry last. Prof.
On behalf of the Faculty of Health Law and Humanities, the Center for Gender and Health Equity, it's my honor to present this Award of Excellence to you, Honorable, I repeat, Honorable Nurse Patience Ariola Adamolekun, in recognition of your role as a political nurse leader in Ondo State, and also as founder of the Progressive Nurses Forum, and a champion of development and democracy in this country. Congratulations.
No, she will talk. Don't fall my hand up. You are not leaving.
Thank you very much. I want to express my gratitude to Ambassador Doyle. I'm very, very grateful to my dean, my capacity dean of faculty nursing. That's Professor Oluwatosin. Thank you for the recommendation. When they asked me for my name and how they should write it, I said Honorable Nurse. And Ambassador said, you know that some people that we normally hear, they are doctors, they are pharmacists. I said, I'm a proud nurse. Let it be written boldly, Honorable Nurse Patience Ariola Adamolekun. If I come again and again to this word, I'm going to be a nurse because I am a successful nurse. I dedicate this award to God Almighty for giving me the opportunity and the platform to shine as a nurse. And this award is to all the great nurses in Ondo State and in Nigeria. I'm going to support the crèche, not only today. I'm going to see to it that it reaches its completion and dedication. So irrespective of what I'm going to give today, I'll bring fellow female politicians to come and support it. I'll not announce what I will give, but I will do the transfer now, and they will receive it. Don't worry, I will not announce. You will see it now.
Please,
so,
applause for Honorable Nurse Ariola.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you know it takes one honorable to recognize another honorable. At this point, I want to crave the indulgence of Honorable Nurse Ariola to still wait behind to take an award on behalf of another honorable. the Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development in Ondo State, Dr. Sheung Bosede Osamaye, FCRSM, FAFUED, a distinguished academic and trailblazer in the field of education, management and strategic studies, socio-political and community development, and philanthropic endeavors. Please, let's put our hands together for Dr. Sheung Bosede Osamaye. And I have the honor to invite to the podium Professor Oluwatosin, the Dean, Faculty of Nursing Science, University of Medical Science, to present this award. Please, let's give the Honorable Commissioner honorable round of applause. Do you think that is honorable enough? Don't let what you want to collect from the Honorable Commissioner get reduced.
On behalf of the University of Medical Sciences, Ondo, Faculty of Health, Law and Humanities, Center for Gender and Health Equity, this distinguished award is presented to Dr. Sheung Bosede Osamaye, Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Women's Affairs, Ondo State, in recognition of her selfless service to humanity and empowering women. And this will be taken for her, on her behalf, by Honorable Nurse Adamoleku.
I received this award on behalf of my friend, my sister. In Ondo State, they call me twice to the Commissioner for Women Affairs because she gave me an appointment first before I even got the one from Mr. Governor. There is no health program that we handle at the Ministry of Women Affairs. I'm in charge. So I'm taking this award on her behalf, and I've been chatting with her, and I forwarded the account details of the institution to her. She's going to send something Honorable Commissioner can send. Thank you.
Thank you, ma.
Please, once again, a round of applause for Honorable Nurse Ariola. For the first time, like I said earlier, I met a nurse who is also our honorable today, and she spoke like a politician. Honorable Ariola is who I'm talking about. She spoke like a politician, but we'll discuss that in camera. Once again, please clap for her. Don't worry, I know. We'll discuss that one in camera. Ladies and gentlemen, moving away from the political arena and coming back to the academia. I know one thing about academics the world over. They are very rich in resources and in whatever you may want to think of. Is that correct? Academics in the house. I said they are very rich. You are not answering, no. Academics are very rich. Please say it confidently. Say it confidently. Say it confidently. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring to this side of the divide our next awardee, a professor, a cerebral scholar, a very patient human being. I've been watching her since. Very patient, unassuming, and also somebody who is so culturally aware that despite being a professor, we must understand, we must do what we represent. Our cultural identity is all over her. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together for Professor Mrs. Modupe Olayinka Ajayi. If I even the way she's walking to the podium has actually allayed all fears that the father of all donations, mother of all donations will be done at this point in time. And I'm going to be calling on our keynote speaker to do us the honor of presenting this award. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Mrs. Modupe Olayinka Ajayi is a Nigerian professor of project management technology at the Federal University of Technology, Akure. She obtained her NCE from the College of Education, a BA Ed from the University of Benin, a master's degree from Obafemi Awolowo University, a PhD from FUTA, and an MPhil from Obafemi Awolowo University. She began her career as a secondary school teacher and joined FUTA in 1992 as an administrative officer. She later served as registrar of FUTA 2011 to 2017 and pioneer registrar of Federal University of Oye Ekiti. She became a senior lecturer in 2017 and rose to professorial rank in 2023. Professor Ajayi has supervised many postgraduate students and published over 65 academic works. She is a fellow, a member of several professional bodies, and has received numerous awards for her contributions to education, leadership, and university administration. She has also served in national and international academic committees, including the West African Examination Councils. Overall, she is widely recognized for her contributions to higher education, research, and university administration in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together for Professor Ajayi.
Thank you. On behalf of the Faculty of Health Law and Humanities, Center for Gender and Health Equity, I present this distinguished award to Professor Modupe Ajayi, former registrar of FUTA, that's Federal University of Technology, Akure, as a successful administrator in recognition of the completion of your service as an ASTOT administrator. This day, 17th March, 2026. Congratulations, ma'am. Congratulations, ma'am.
Congratulations, ma'am.
Congratulations, mommy. Congratulations, mommy.
Thank you.
I want to be like you when I grow up. I love the way you have combined the two.
Okay. Thank you so very much. This is first to express my sincere appreciation to UNIMED, to the gender, and to OSWD in UNIMED. I thank God for the opportunity and for a darling sister, Professor Mrs. Duile. She's been in this business for a long time of getting the women to be seen, to be heard, and for us to have influence. We were together in FAWE, the Forum for African Women Educationalists, and she served meritoriously with us there. And for this award, I want to say a very big thank you.
You know, I'm a teacher, but that doesn't matter because children are the heritage of God. And God has called all of us together. Either you are a nurse, a professor, or whatever, to take care of the children for him. And that's why I'm a lover of children, and I have them all around me. I will not announce what I want to give towards the crèche, but like I discussed with her, for whatever I give today, I am part of that crèche growth. Because that's part of my responsibility as a mother. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. After this.
Thank you very much. Please a round of applause for Prof. You know, I told her something secretly. I only noticed that you saw that she smiled, but you didn't know what I told her. So if you want to know what I told her, you can see me and be kind to me. Ladies and gentlemen, the next awardee is Professor Victoria Omolara Henobong Akpambang. She taught us how to pronounce her name some time ago. And representing her today is Dr. Fumilayo Fabusiwa Agbaje. Please a round of applause for her as she comes. And I'm sure she will not tell us that I'm just representing her. She will also make a pronouncement, because I know Professor Akpambang to be a woman of her words, and I know something will happen here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's put our hands together as I call Professor Oluwatoyin. It's deliberate why I'm bringing her. You can see the name of the awardee too. It's also a bit mouthful, Akpambang. That is why I'm calling Professor Oluwatoyin. I love calling that one. I won't call Oludansi. Professor Oluwatoyin. Please a round of applause for her to help present this award. Quickly, a brief about her. Professor Victoria Akpambang began her academic journey at the Rivers State University of Science and Technology, earned a master's degree from the prestigious University of Ibadan, and obtained a doctorate in analytical chemistry from the Federal University of Technology, Akure, in 2010. Her intellectual curiosity and commitment to excellence took her across the globe as a MIF postdoctoral research fellow at Hiroshima University, Japan, where she investigated the distribution of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon in marine environments under the mentorship of Professor Hiroshi Sakugawa. There is something peculiar about Professor Akpambang. Everything about her is striking. All the names I've called, they are striking. That is to tell you a remarkable professor. Professor Victoria Akpambang lives by a simple but powerful creed, committed to advancing food safety and environmental health through cutting-edge analytical chemistry, research, and mentorship. Today, we recognize not only her outstanding contributions in science and education, but the remarkable woman behind them. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor and privilege to present to you Dr. Victoria, Professor Victoria Omolara Akpambang.
On behalf of the University of Medical Sciences, Ondo, Faculty of Health Law and Humanities, Center for Gender and Healthy Equity, Award of Honor presented to Professor Victoria Omolara Akpambang, Chairperson Omolara Akpambang, Chairperson, Chemical Society of Nigeria, Ondo State Chapter, in recognition
of her leadership role to female in science and services to humanity on this day, 17th March 2026. Congratulations.
Thank you. On behalf of my chairperson of Chemical Society of Nigeria, Ondo State chapter, Professor Victoria Omolara Apabang, I want to say a big thank you to the center and to the director of Gender and Health Equity, UNIMED. And immediately they told me this, I sent to her, and he has sent the token to the account of the faculty. I'm grateful. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Woman, no like woman. She no be like water. If woman ever marry you.
Ladies and gentlemen, because Professor Akpambang is from Akwa Ibom State, okay, and she's from Akwa Ibom by marriage. Is it Cross River? And what are we now saying? What God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Dr. Fabusiwa Agbaje, when you get to her, tell her we are grateful for what she has sent. And I say it in her language. So, please help us tell her that we actually say thank you in her language. Ladies and gentlemen, I wonder. Okay. Now we move to the next awardee. And about the last one for this event, others, their awards will be sent to them. They've told us they will not be able to make it for certain reasons. And right now we move to honorable, it's good to end on an honorable note. Honorable Princess Omowumi Olatunji. The last one is tongue twisting, and I don't want to massacre that name. Definitely the age will be silent, and that will be Honorable Princess Omowumi Olatunji Owovoriole. That should be from Delta in a way, okay? If I know specifically in Delta, I will speak the language when we are done. To present this award, is another remarkable human being, a very good human being at that educates us every week in this university with very provoking thoughts that you have to reflect on all through the week. Ladies and gentlemen, please, the presenter, help me put your hands together as I bring to this side Dr. David Agbaje. Thank you. And representing this person is deliberate, what I'm trying to do. You must know that this person must be honorable indeed, sending the wife of our DVC to go and collect award for her. That is huge. And I'm 100% sure when she makes that pronouncement, I only pray we will not fall down from our seat. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together for Dr. Omoshalewa Osho, representing Honorable Princess Omowu. Is a seasoned public servant, legislator, administrator, and development practitioner with over 2 decades of experience in governance, education, social development, and political leadership in Nigeria. She is widely recognized for her commitment to inclusive governance, women empowerment, youth development. She remains actively engaged in public service, institutional governance, political development, and community empowerment, with a career defined by consistency, service, and commitment to national development. Please, once again, a round of applause for Honorable Princess Omowumi Olatunji.
On behalf of the University of Medical Sciences, Faculty of Health Law, Humanities, Center for Gender and Health Equity, I present this award to you, the award of honor, presented to Honorable Princess Olatunji Ovoro-Riol, CEO, My Choice Limited Akure, as a successful entrepreneur and selfless service to humanity. Congratulations.
Woman don't suffer, lower everybody. Enjoy forever. Money no like woman, woman no like woman. She no be like water.
Thank you very much for the. It's a great pleasure to represent my very good friend, a big sister, who is unavoidably absent this afternoon to collect the award. That's Honorable Princess Omowumi Olatunji Owovore, who is unavoidably absent. And we appreciate the organizers for recognizing our meritorious as work in Ondo State. She's a sound administrator. She's a political aspirant. She's been member of House of Rep in Lagos State for many years, and she's presently an aspirant in Ondo State. So she's a wonderful woman, and she told me this yesterday when she was sending me to represent her here, that she has put forward a widow's mite into the account sent to her. So they said the coordinator is saying 200,000 naira. So thank God for the decoration. I was about saying I would tell her that she's the only one that was not decorated. But thank God you remember to bring it. Thank you to the organizer.
Thank you very much. I think at this point we are posting home little by little. I said something at the beginning that for today's event, behind every woman, there is a successful that for today's event, for every successful woman, there is a successful man. When God created the heaven and the earth, he created man first and later created a woman that come and help this man so that his life will be organized. But for this event today, I've listened to several profiles and I've heard consistently that women here who have been hugely successful in their different careers have said something striking, saying that everybody has been thanking my husband. My husband has done well. My husband has supported me to be where I am today. And for that reason, one of such men in our society who always wants to see women succeed in their respective careers is also being recognized. Not just recognized, we also want to celebrate this man. Initially, they told me that the DVC should present it. And I said, I once worked in an institution that we described ourselves in that institution as the software component of science, technology, and innovation in Nigeria. So instead of bringing hardware to come and present to hardware, I would rather bring another software so that we end on a soft note. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to invite to this side the Dean, Faculty of Health, Law, and Humanities. A man that supports everything. Whether you are a woman or you are a man, he gives you full support from the beginning to the end. He wants everybody to succeed. And I will implore you to please put your hands together once again for Professor Leroy Edozie. And the software that will present to the hardware at this point is the Dean, Faculty of Nursing Science, Professor Oluwatosin Abimbola. Please a round of applause for her. Please let's clap very well. Very quickly, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I will just say these few words about him that you may not know. Professor Edozie is an established academic, and being an established academic known worldwide, he single-handedly established the Faculty of Health, Law, and Humanities, the first of its kind in this part of sub-Saharan Africa. He has delivered lectures across the world and is indeed a celebrated and cerebral academic. Please a round of applause for Professor Leroy Edozie.
Thank you. Well, I've been asked to do a big thing. I feel this is too big for me. It's a great honor to be the one presenting to you, sir. On behalf of the University of Medical Sciences, Ondo, Faculty of Health, Law, and Humanities, Center for Gender and Health Equity, this distinguished award is presented to you, sir, Professor Leroy Edozie, in recognition of your exemplary leadership roles in the Faculty of Health, Law, and Humanities, and I will say in the university as a whole. 17th March 2026. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
DVC, sir, keynote speaker, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't really want to receive an award today because we are the ones organizing it. And, you know, Professor Duilemi, she's indefatigable. She said, no, you're going to have it. So thank you very much for that. I've always been a champion of women's causes. In my work as a gynecologist, obstetrician, and in many other ways, I can't enumerate all of them here. So I appreciate this. The other thing is, you may not know that I am half Irish, by my mother being Irish. And today is a big day in Ireland because it's St. Patrick's Day. So I will use this to remember St. Patrick's Day of 2026. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, I call on the Deputy Director, Center for Gender and Health Equity, Dr. Doris Inka Oluwafemi, to give us the closing remarks / vote of thanks. Please a round of applause for her.
Thank you, sir. Great Nigerian women. Great Nigerian women. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and their participants. First of all, I want to appreciate God for the success of today's program. As we come to the end of today's memorable celebration of International Women's Day, I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation to everyone who contributed to the success of this program. I want to use this medium to appreciate our management, the organizers, our guest speakers, God bless you, and all the participants. As we depart today, may we remain inspired to promote fairness and unity in all that we do. Thank you all, and happy International Women's Day. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, whatever has a beginning must surely have an end. With our vote of thanks, we have come to the end of the 2026 International Women's Day, organized by the Center for Gender and Health Equity. And please, don't let us forget the main message. We give to gain. Let's go out there and continue to give to gain. May I please crave our indulgence to stand as we bring the program to a close by taking our diverse anthems. Thank you. Please, let's be on our feet.